All right, David Toller here with Supplemental Seminary. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you're here in the chat and you can hear me well. I'm going to be here for a few minutes helping you, taking your questions when it comes or any problems you may be having with your live stream setup. Perhaps you're trying to get your church live streaming, or you would like a home office like I have here for your church, your business, what have you. I'm here for you and want to help you. There's many options available, very affordable options on up till very expensive. So there's a wide range of what you want to accomplish. There's a lot of questions that have to be answered, but there's a lot of, I guess you could say, DIY solutions that do it yourself. Those are options. And there's a lot of factors that go into live streaming. There's a lot of elements. Having a good, reliable internet connection is one, and sometimes that's a challenge. If you're in a location that does not have a provider, that would be a problem. And then beyond that, having the camera, knowing how to use the camera, and the other equipment needed to be able to live stream. And then beyond that, having the sound system, having the video, audio capture, and learning how to use a microphone and bring that into your sound system, and then the problem with noise. And so there's a lot of things that can happen when you are live streaming. And so let me give you a couple options here. I know one is the easiest solution is to use, let's say, for your church or your business, and you want to go live. The easiest solution for that would be look at your phone, which would be, in my case, an iPhone 8 Plus. This is really all you need to live stream, although there's some limitations there. Another option that I believe a lot of people have, excuse me, laying around, so to speak, would be a GoPro is an option for live streaming. And there's a couple challenges with a GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 7. And I've used this before to live stream. Get a really good picture. The downside to this is you're going to need a video capture device to bring it into your computer. So really, by the time that you have your GoPro and then you buy the video capture device to go into your computer, then you're going to have another expense of probably about $100 to add to this just to make it a webcam. In fact, right now, what I'm recording on, I'm going to bring my audio down just a tad, is what I'm recording on right now is a webcam I have up here, which is the Logitech Brio, which is, I believe, the best webcam on the market. Shoots in 4K, although I'm not using 4K right now because I'm streaming in 720p. All right, so, but it's a good option. I like a webcam for a home office, although it's not the best quality, but that you can get from a DSLR camera. And I have one of those as well as an example. But the webcam is convenient because you just plug it in, USB, and you have an image, a good image. Now, with a webcam, your challenge is with your lighting. I have two lights here, one on each corner. You can see the shadow from that. I've got a light over here. Okay, so both of those help to illuminate and improve the picture of the webcam. I mean, if you was really I'm talking a super tight budget and you just wanted to live stream as your church or even yourself, you could use a webcam to record your church service. You're going to diminish the quality depending on how far away it is. Our phones, especially the rear-facing camera on the iPhone, has an incredible camera on it. And there's one solution that I think is an awesome solution. I'm getting ready to do a YouTube video on that with the Rode Wireless Go. That is a wireless solution that you hook into your phone, and then it's a wireless signal you can clip on. You can get a little lapel for that. Actually, I have one of those as an example as well. I probably need to show you that if you're interested and show you how that works. So then you could use your phone, and then you'd have a wireless. Our pulpit is 60 feet away from our sound room, and so I hooked that up and went all the way to the front, and it sounded like like I sound right now with the Rode Wireless Go. So that's an option. You can use GoPro. You can use iPhone. The next solution that is a permanent solution, because what's going to happen is with your phone, you use it for other things, right? So then the problem with that is convenience. And that's really what you're paying for when it comes to live streaming. You're coming to the point of convenience. Convenience. I was explaining to somebody yesterday about live streaming. I said, it's kind of like when you buy a car. It used to be you don't see as many anymore. It don't seem like, do you want a manual, which most people can't drive a manual, a 5-speed, or do you want an automatic? Do you want, before it used to be when we were in school, to have overdrive was like an option. That's pretty standard now. So if you want a standard kind of setup solution, that's a permanent solution for your church that's, fixed and you don't have to dismantle it every week. That's really what you're paying for right there. Now, as far as a home studio that I have here in a spare front room of my house, and I'll kind of go through the chain of what I'm live streaming now and all the elements that go into it. First of all, I need really 4 things. Number one, a reliable internet connection that I have directly to my modem that I'm running and streaming from. That's number one. I've streamed from Wi-Fi. I don't recommend it. You need to run a network cable, which if you need help with that, I can help you. I got some wire. I'll make you a cable. And possibly, if it's not too much climbing in the attic, kind of run you a cable in, put a network end on it for you. So that's a solution to, first of all, have a good, reliable internet connection. If you're like me, I've got 3 kids, got one on the way, and there's noise. You may hear them. I don't hear them right now, but they were playing outside, and they were making quite a noise out there. And so that's going to be another factor too. Right now, I'm speaking into the Tech Zone Audio Products Stellar X2 Vintage. That's a mouthful. And here I have a foam cover, which I'll remove that now. Sorry for the noise you're going to hear there. And so I'm speaking into this microphone, which is a condenser microphone. Means it's very sensitive. I've got it about 6 inches away from my mouth as a teacher, kind of off axis to avoid plosives, the pops, and this little foam cover here. I'd really do like this microphone. It's about the size of your hand. It's overkill for what you need, but I do like this because that's another element, is going to be a sound source. Now, you got microphones on your laptop. You got microphones, on your phone. The GoPro has a microphone on it. If you can get a camcorder, I installed a live stream setup at a church and finished it out yesterday when they used a camcorder, getting good quality out of camcorder. You can pull the audio from that, even up to a PTZ, which is a point tilt zoom camera, or a DSLR camera, a photography camera as I call it. That's an option. But if you was to ask me, do I need to pull my audio from another source? My answer will always be yes. You need a separate audio. Pull your audio separate. Now, I have the Logitech Brio in front of me, but I'm not pulling the audio from that, because if I did, the audio would stink. I mean, it would be terrible. Have you ever seen somebody in a kind of an empty room? You go to an open house and you go in there and you're talking to the realtor and you hear all that echo in there because there's no furniture, maybe hardwood floors, and there's not, a lot in there to absorb the sound, and that just echoey, distant sound that you hear is what we call reverb. Okay, so you're going to get a lot of that echoey. Now you see behind me this panel that I have of these foam covers, and what they do is they deflect the sound waves, especially with a condenser microphone. So when I speak, they got those little sections in them, and it'll send the sound waves in another direction so that when I speak, it doesn't bounce off the plain wall and come back into the microphone and cause that echoey sound. So in any case, you want to get the microphone close to your mouth. I wish I could tell it to everybody at the churches I've worked in and pastored. It's something about a microphone that makes you want to get away from it, just kind of like a camera, but they're not designed to be far away from. Even this condenser microphone, the good thing about it, I don't have to speak directly into it because it's very sensitive and because it will pick up, it has a cardioid pickup pattern and it will pick me up on the sides as well. Now, if I had a dynamic microphone, which I would suggest if you don't have a treated room and you have a lot of background noise, I would suggest a dynamic microphone like I have over here, which is the Rode Procaster. I think it is. That's right. So it's a dynamic microphone that you speak directly into in the end. Okay, it's going to give you a different sound. It's not going to be as sensitive. So those are some options. Again, that's overkill. You don't need that. Let me show you a couple things here that I have, some toys. And I'm going to reach over here in my book bag and I'll show you some solutions. Hang on just a sec. Okay, so I feel like I'm Santa Claus reaching in the bag. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier. This is the Rode Wireless Go system. Okay, and it is a wireless system that you can use on your iPhone. You can use it on the GoPro, but you're gonna have a separate attachment to it. That's, like I said, that they make money on this stuff. For the iPhone, I had to buy a separate cable. They have TRRS and then TRS, I believe it is. One of them's going to go to a DSLR camera, and I believe that, if I'm not mistaken, yes. Well, actually, it's got an SC cable, and it comes with the kit. Now, if you want to hook this to your iPhone, I went on Amazon and bought an off-brand of this wire, and it works just fine. And I'm trying to think what that one's called. It has these ends like this. So sometimes you're going to have the one that has the 2 rings. You can see that. And then on the other end for the iPhone needs the 3 ring on it. 3 ring circus. All right. And then if you're like me, the iPhone has this lighting port, right? Doesn't have the headphone jack, so you got to have that little attachment came with the iPhone. And guess what? I lose that thing, I don't know how many times. I don't even know where it is right now. So I've got this system, I can't even hook it up to my iPhone right now because I need to find that little lighting port. So that's something else. Now with this system, it's kind of unusual because what you do is you have the transmitter and the receiver, and you place it on your subject or person like that, and it's going to pick up the signal. That's kind of a strange design, which is pretty cool, I think, because it's different. I like different. Then they they make another option where you can get the lavalier microphone that goes with it, because that's something when you're doing live streaming, you got to determine, especially if you're doing it at your house, do you want the microphone in the shot? Do you want it hidden? Now, like with me, it's preference. I like to see the microphone. That's just me. It doesn't bother me being in the shot. But some people don't like the to show that they're wired. So they hook up a lavalier microphone like this to attach to them to be discreet. So that there's many options to get where you're going. What you have to decide is what's going to work for you. And I do have my YouTube channel, which is Supplemental Seminary on YouTube, and you can search that, and I have some videos and tutorials on there. And I know there may be someone listening that you may be interested in starting a YouTube channel, and that would be something that you would have to decide on the platform that you would like to stream. Would you like to be, because I ask people, they say, what equipment do I need? Well, it just depends on what you plan to do. When you go live streaming, will you be standing up? Will you be sitting down? Do you want the microphone in the shot? Do you not want the microphone in the shot? And if you can answer those questions, I'd be happy to recommend a solution to you, whether any type of budget solution that you can think of. So with all that being said, if anyone has any questions, be sure to shoot those in the comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, and we can create a discussion here of what you would need, or if you have any questions regarding equipment or what it takes to live stream. With my setup here, again, Tech Zone Audio Stellar X2 Vintage. There's a couple things about this microphone I like, but it doesn't mean it's the right solution for you. I've got that on a $12 boom arm here I got from Amazon. So that's how I roll. You got like a $250 microphone on a $12 stand. So XLR, and I've got that running to the Rodecaster Pro. And that's the reason that, well, for one thing, the audio sounds so great. And it has separate channels. And what it allows me to do is in real time, like right now, I'm able to add audio effects, such as a compressor, such as, let's see what I got on right now, a compressor, a de-esser. I'm running a high-pass filter. I'm running what they call a big bottom that gives that good boomy sound. And what I can do now is turn off that processing at this point. So right there, this is the clear audio, which I like from the Tech Zone Audio Products Stellar X2 Vintage. This is the clear crystal sound of this microphone right here, out of the box. Now watch when I turn on the processing. All right, right now the processing is not on, and now real-time processing is on. I actually got another button I'm going to click here, and that'll put more, another effect that really almost overemphasizes the high end, so I don't really use that one as much. So let me take that one off. That's a little too crisp. But if you have any questions about microphones, I've got several here as an example. If you would like to know how to live stream from a camcorder, iPhone, if you'd like to know how to live stream from a DSLR camera, a photography camera, I use a Canon SL2 Rebel, so it's a couple models back, but it does work. The camcorder I recommend, the Canon Vixia, I think it's the RX 800, I believe it is. That's going to give you the best solution for, as far as a camcorder quality, that's going to help you with that. And for the live stream setups that I have several levels. Okay, that would be level 1 would be use your iPhone. get the Rode Wireless Go. There is a $50 solution on Amazon because this is $200. Okay, if you can find it right now, that's the difficulty. If you wanted to go with a 50, I recommended one. I won't say recommended, suggested. I don't recommend things I hadn't tried before, but I said it'd be worth a shot. Keep your receipt. And this was a $50 solution on Amazon that is a wireless solution. So that's something that I could point out to you as well. I think it'd be worth a shot if you just want to try it and see if it works. Send it back. I send stuff back to Amazon all the time if I don't like it. You could try it. The main thing, and then, getting like a tripod to set your iPhone on like I have here, which is like a tabletop, tripod for live streaming. And then you just, get this little clip, which you can get these things pretty cheap, and then clip your iPhone in there. Okay. And then it holds it. Be great if you could record from the back facing camera because it's better quality. The front facing camera on the iPhone was more designed for FaceTime, which I'm not sure if anybody ever uses that. I use it very rarely, if ever. So you want the front facing camera. There is a solution. That's going to be, step number one, solution number one. Get the Rode Wireless Go, get your audio sounding good and crisp, number one. The second setup would be a camcorder, which would be the Canon Vixia XR800, something like that. I can recommend that to you if you'd like to get with me in the comments or later reach out to me through a private message. I'll be glad to help you. Because what you need to live stream with a camcorder or a DSLR camera is you just need to ensure and research it to make sure it has what they call a clean HDMI out. And basically what that means, because most people say, what in the world are you talking about? What I'm talking about is when you was watching years ago, they had America's Funniest Home Videos, and they would show the camcorders, the old honking things they put on their shoulders like a big old boom boxes. They just honking, big old humongous things. And when they showed those, you could see like in the shot, you seen like in the upper right-hand corner that it had the battery life and the time and the date stamp. So that's what I mean by clean HDMI out. Is you have a camera that gives you the option to disable all that information on the screen, then you can use it to live stream. Now, if you want to use one, because somebody had one laying around somewhere and it didn't bother you that it had like the date in the corner or the battery life up there or something, or what mode you're in, then go for it. But what I'm saying is most people don't want that as a distraction. Is you want a camera that has a clean HDMI out. Next would be the DSLR camera that I can show you here that I have. And most time, a DSLR camera, which my wife likes this super long lens on here, and I like the other one. So these are a solution as well. We use this to live stream at our church. This is our own personal photography camera. In fact, I'm going to take this big old honking lens off here. And that's her favorite one. And they see this is just the body of the camera. This is a Canon EOS Rebel SL2. Hang on, let me find yeah, there it is, if it'll focus in on that. Okay. And I got this a couple years ago. I wouldn't get this one now because it's like anything else, things are upgraded, they change, but this one does have, and it works because it has what? A clean HDMI out. So would this work? Sure it would. You can find one used, find one refurbished, find someone in your church, find one on Facebook Marketplace, that nobody's using. Research it, make sure it has a clean HDMI out, okay, that you can disable the information on the screen. and then be able to video. All right. So see here, clean HDMI out. I don't have any information on the screen right now. And also by doing that, you can see that in front of where I'm speaking into this acoustical phone. Now watch what happens when I turn on automatic focus here. You see those bars right there? Hopefully there's a glare, I know, but you see those 4 bars? That's what we're talking about. That's not a clean HDMI out. So what I can do is flip that back to manual focus for this particular camera. And now I have a clean HDMI out. Okay. So that is something to consider. I would look into a Lumix, Panasonic. I think it's a, what is that thing? A G7 something. But anyway, because it was shooting 4K, and these can be, this is the kit, what they call the kit lens that came with it as a kit, okay? And so if you have one of these that has a clean HDMI out, I would suggest if you go this route, you have the battery here, and you know, you don't want to go by this regular battery that is placed in the camera. You would want to order a, what we call, things have funny names, but it's called a dummy battery. So you see here, this is a dummy battery. This thing's a big old dummy. Because what it does is it plugs an outlet into the wall, and that way when you plug in right here to your camera, and I run this down in here and clip it, and the wire comes out this side, and then I snap it like that. Guess what? This thing has got continual power now. I've got continual running power. I don't have to worry about, you know, it not being plugged in and losing the, you know, my video, and I forgot to charge it. Now I'm plugged into the wall. So I'm running dummy battery, and if I wanted to hook this to my computer, what I would need is, in any case, unless you're using an iPhone, or you have an internal card, that's an option. You need, if I can reach this over here, hang on just a second. What you need here is a video capture card. This is a Camlink, which takes HDMI on one side, HDMI, yep, to USB, and you see it's blue, so that's USB 3, I believe it is, jack. Okay, that converts it. I've used this. Now these are hard to find. I bought it before all this pandemic happened. So with this Camlink, you know, it's this particular one's going to be difficult to find. You may find it used or somebody reselling it. It's going to be expensive, so be careful with that one. But there are some off brands that I've used. I found too that at our church I put an internal card in there, so I'm running SDI, and then it does have a port for HDMI. Okay, so that was, you know, it's inside the computer. It's just a card, you snap it in if your computer has the capability to do that. Because now let me give you a couple other things to think about. If you're not one to be live, you're not really interested in that, especially if you're a pastor or preacher listening, and you say, I just don't have the money for this stuff. Hey, I totally understand. I mean, we're in a pandemic. This is stuff, these are toys that I buy from a separate business that I have where I build websites, and I buy these toys with that money, okay? Because I have 2 other jobs that pay the bills, and then this is my fun money, my monopoly money. And I understand, because I got started in this way before this pandemic hit, and you're looking for a good, you know, solution where you don't want to have to spend all that. I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. What I would do, and hang on just a second, I'm going to take a sip of this good coffee here. This is a mug that, where I drive a school bus, one of the kids gave it to me. Well, actually, the grandmother gave it to me for Christmas. And I'm telling you, I earned every bit of this mug from them 3 kids, putting up with them. All right, so here's the option that you have is if you say, I just don't have time for this equipment, I don't understand all this equipment, I don't want to fool with this equipment, and you want to go live, okay? What you can do is, let's say you're a hunter, you're a fisherman, you're outdoorsy hunting type, and you just have a GoPro, okay? What I would do is take what I had, or even this camera, okay, a DSLR camera, or your iPhone, or a camcorder, and go ahead and record at a separate time during the week. Record what you would like to share, a devotional thought, about your business. Maybe you want to talk, something about your church or a sermon, whatever. And when you get done with that, take that video and run it through StreamYard, one of these programs, in order to run it as a premiere. Okay, and a premiere is something that I haven't fooled with, but it is a pretty awesome solution when you think about it. I can record something through the week. I can take it, I could edit it, I could enhance it, I can enhance the audio, I can do some post-processing on it. I can do all kinds of stuff with it. And then if I don't, end up, I could cut out my mistakes if I made those, edit it, process the audio, post-production. If you wanted to, you don't even have to do that. I'm just saying that's your options. And then you could take it, upload it to YouTube or Facebook, and set it to air later as a premiere. Okay? So what happens when you air as a premiere is it would air at the time that you have selected, and you would basically play the video. You see those on Facebook all the time. It'll say premiering a video. So it's been pre-recorded, and then it's been uploaded, scheduled to play at a certain time, and then all of a sudden, guess what? You're live streaming. Maybe not like I'm live streaming here, but you're live streaming. Okay, so that's an option, and the reason that you would want to do that is because you say, I don't have a good internet connection at my church or my home, or I don't have the money for the equipment, okay, or I just don't have anybody capable of running the equipment. See, that's a problem issue too. So those are some options to think about. All right, so with all that being said, is there anybody that has any questions about all the things I just talked about that ought to confuse the average person? If you want to know a secret, you say, how did you learn how to do all this stuff? How did you learn? I didn't know this. I didn't know how to do this. What was it, 2 years ago now? I had no idea about a webcam, any idea about microphones. And to be honest with you, I learned all this. I didn't go to college for this. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't study this. I learned it through watching YouTube videos, because you can find, YouTube is the number 2 search engine on the internet. And there are people on there that will help you, that will guide you, that you can learn as much as you're willing to learn in a short amount of time. And so that's what I want to be for you, a resource to help you if you have a message and you say, I'd like to start a YouTube channel, or I would like to start a Facebook group, or perhaps in your church, you like to teach, work with the youth or something and do a live stream. I want to be the person that helps you, okay, that guides you and can recommend equipment to you, and then tell you that there's some things that might not be a good idea, that type of thing. All right, so has anybody had any problems today with your live stream? Because I tell people, if so, and you need some advice, I'm going to hang on here just a little while and give you an opportunity to chime in. If you say, preacher, what do you think about, this solution or that solution, or if you want me to kind of build you a setup on the spot, be happy to do so. Or even when it comes to, let me show you my screen right now. I need to change it. Hopefully it won't show that echo effect. Well, yes, it does. I'm showing you right now my screen. I have two screens because one of them I need to be able to pull this off to the side like that. Okay, that's one of the kind of tricks. I mean, you don't have to, but what happens is you see this square and a square and a square. So you're seeing what I see right now, and I'm using StreamYard, which I suggest. And if you're interested in using StreamYard, let me know and I'll send you a link and you can get $10 off if you decide to purchase it, which you can use it free. And there's a couple downsides to that, but nothing major. You just have a little watermark in the upper right-hand corner. No big deal. Nobody's ever going to say anything. But you can see right here that I'm using this to stream. It is absolutely the easiest, user-friendly live streaming software that is out there, in my opinion, right now. There's a few things as far as I wish they gave you more audio options to adjust your audio, but your video is, I mean, it makes it so much easier. There's other things out there like you got vMix. I've fooled around some with vMix. OBS, which is free open broadcast software. That one, a lot of people think it's confusing, but actually I think it's the easiest one you can use. So then that's an option too. So think about all the things. If you're interested, just reach out to me sometime and maybe send me a private message. Because I know a lot of times you don't want to put something on here on Facebook for all the world to see. But you may want to, see about different options. Because it just depends. What's your budget? Are you broke? Do you have some money to invest? And then does quality matter so much to you, or you just that's another option. You need to ask yourself, do I really care about the quality? Because as you go up the tiers, then you're beginning to increase the quality of what you're working with. Okay. So does anybody have any questions, concerns, criticisms, or problems that you would like to interject? Let's see, we're right here at the 40-minute mark, so I'm going to hang on just a few minutes to give you a chance to chime in. And I know there's several, it seems every Sunday, there are those who say, well, we wasn't able to live stream today at our church because we're running technical difficulties, right? There's a lot of ways you can avoid those technical difficulties. One of them is by, preparing properly, testing the equipment a day before, having things set up, and being able to troubleshoot after or in real time. This morning at our church, we had a little issue with the audio wasn't coming into StreamYard, but we were able to fix it. Sometimes you got to reset your computer. Sometimes you got to unplug something, put it back in, that type of thing. So take and remember that if there's anything YouTube, now I'm not so much a video guy as I am an audio guy, but I can do enough to, for example, this webcam doesn't, the color of my skin, I'm not totally pleased with that, the shade of it, because, and a lot of it has to do with the lighting. There's a lot, to learn there. See, then you have that option with, you got your lighting. That's always been a headache sort of for me, is to get that right. And to me, I just kind of like the audio side of it because I think it's a whole lot easier. But when you get to the picture, then you got to worry about your background. Are you going to do like a green screen type thing? Which if you need help with green screen, I can help you with that as well. I've done some green screen when you take it in. Green screen can be a headache like you wouldn't believe, but it can be fixed by basically lighting, if your lighting is correct. Because if you don't get your lighting correct, you got to light your green screen, and then you got to light your subject, and you have to light them separately, and then you take it over into a program which would be Premiere, which I worked some with that. I really liked on the Mac when I had a Mac and I'm trying to think of the name of the software. I can't just escape me. But anyway, that's a whole lot easier to work with when it comes to a chroma key in green screen. Okay, there's a couple benefits to that. You can be, the outline of you if you're live streaming. So that's an option. I did use green screen at first when I started my YouTube page, but I quickly got away from it because it's too complicated. It's too much trouble, too much to set up. And so through a long process that I went through trying to find what was the best solution for me, I finally decided to come up here in a spare room and treat the audio and put my desk against the wall and use the webcam or the DSLR camera to record and then to have the audio and the microphone shown in the shot. So see, that's something you'll have to work out. You say, well, I want to stand, green screen. That's up to you. And you may take a while to kind of determine what's kind of your cup of tea, I guess you say. But there's a lot of easy solutions to get where you want to go. You don't have to spend a lot. You may have something already that can be kind of worked with. Or there may be, you could go on Facebook Marketplace. I went on and ordered this camera through a app called, I think it's Mercenary. Ordered it from, San Jose, California, and it came in. And the reason I've done that, because you can't find it on Amazon, you can't find it in B&H, you can't find it anywhere, because everybody's buying them up. And I've noticed too that people are buying up computers. Why? Because most kids and parents, teachers, etc., are at home and they need computers and laptops. So in our town here, Martinsville, Henry County, went out yesterday looking for a desktop computer for someone. They were completely sold out at Walmart. Office Max going out of business, so they had little to nothing, no computers. So when I really thought about it, I said, there's not a computer that I'm aware of that you could buy brand new in a store in Martinsville, Henry County. So that's premium now. That's where you're going to get into the problem right now is everybody's doing live streaming. The reason I have all this equipment, because I got into this about 2 years ago, and I already had it anyway back when it was at the prices that it should be now and before price gouging. And what happened was, I've even sold some of my equipment to other churches and different individuals, and I didn't gouge them. I basically sold it for what I paid for it back before the price went up. And now you might go and you say, why don't the wireless go? And you're going to go on Amazon, they're not going to have it. Go to BH Photo, they're not going to have it. Go to Sweetwater, they don't have it. Then do another Google search and don't find it. And if it's something you really got to have and you really want and you got to have it, like next week or the week after next, there's some other sites you could go to buy it. Not like eBay, but you can go to some of these. Like I went to Mercenary and found it and ordered it and paid a little tad, slightly more than the $200 that this webcam retails for. I think I gave $236, but still, you're factoring, that you can't find it anywhere. So that's give and take. All right. So there's a whole lot to that. But if you have your church, and what I do is offer solutions to small churches, and that's kind of who I minister to. If I would mind helping a larger church too, but most larger churches already have this kind of figured out. So if your church ever needs any help looking to do I got some packages put together, I could come and install a live stream setup for you and get you going. Even if you just want me to kind of piece something together from the junkyard, so to speak, that's something I could do as well. Or find you just a good solution. I've got some other people live streaming doing devotional thoughts and things by Number one, getting a webcam. You can find a webcam right now. If you go to Amazon, there's a webcam I think that thing is $32 once you pay tax on it. And that's not this camera, but I mean, that thing is impressive. I've known 2 or 3 people to order that webcam, and it put a lot of them to shame. It kind of has like a field of view fisheye effect, kind of like the GoPro, but I mean, depends on what you're looking for. And then if you used to order like a $12, $15 boom arm like this from Amazon, and then get you a dynamic microphone, which could be what I would suggest is get an Audio Technica. What is that thing? I might look that up, which would be, let me move this over here, put this here, and we'll look up Amazon. So you go to Amazon, and I think the thing's Audio Technica, not the AT2020. Let's see, dynamic microphone should come up. That's close, but that's not what I'm looking for. Well, here's one too you could use, is the Samson Q2U, which is a $89 microphone that comes highly recommended. Okay. But the one I'm thinking about just escapes me right now, but it's a dynamic microphone from Audio Technica. And I know I have it on my website, supplementalseminary.com. And then if I go to this, which I need to update my gear and resources page here. This is the older model right here, so this one's not going to be in stock, I don't think. Yeah, see, it's currently unavailable. So we want the next equivalent to it, which is, I figured it would suggest it. Amazon's funny sometimes. But what's good about this one, see, you can do both USB and XLR, so it'll go all the way with you. It's got a cardioid pickup pattern, or cardioid polar pattern, I should say. So that's going to keep out a lot of background noise. If you got kids in the background and they're screaming and hollering and throwing things at each other. Okay. No, that's not it either. But anyway, it's Audio Technica. And I just recommended one a while back. Let's see if I can go to my things here. You see, that's that webcam I was talking about. This thing is, what is this thing? $30. $30. Okay. That's a big old honking ugly camera. I'm just being honest with you. It's heavy, it's bulky, it's it's like we used to say when we was at school, it's Bobo. It's not like a name brand, it's some brand. It's like they're ashamed of themselves or something, don't even put their name. Oh, here it is. It's a Rofer, Rofeer. They don't even advertise that. I mean, I see why. Rofer, what a name. This thing's honking. This thing is ugly, I'm telling you. But I mean, it'll shoot in 1080p, 30 frames a second, and it's got this 95, field of view on it, and it's $30. There you go. Webcam. Let's see, the microphone wouldn't be in here because I've never ordered it. Oh, ATR 2100X. That's what it is. ATR 2100X. That's the ticket. Audio Technica. And that's going to be ATR 2100X. I put an X on that and it'll make it right. That's the new model right there. Okay. And see, what they've done here is they don't have it, so they're not suggesting it. And that happens a lot of times with Amazon. Okay. So that is the problem with that. So anyway, if you have any questions in the future, just let me know. I'm going to hop off here, and appreciate you joining me, and we'll catch you in the next one. And if you're interested in using what I have here, StreamYard, just let me know. I'll send it to you. All right, God bless you.